Hi, welcome back to Study Medicine with me. Now we are going to see about the clinical documentation specialist, the job profile, and also the jobs, what all jobs are available in this area. So if you see, once you complete a life science degree or a paramedical course, there are vast variety of jobs available in the market. One such important job area is this clinical documentation, and it is also quite easy to get a job in this area. So we'll just discuss what all the things and what is a pay scale and everything in this video. These are all the topics that we are going to discuss in this video, like what is clinical documentation and what are the various roles, jobs offered in this clinical documentation area, skills required, educational qualifications, and what companies offer, these kind of jobs, and what is a pay scale, and everything we can discuss in this video. Yeah, so before getting into the jobs in the market and all, not some, I'll just give some basic definitions, what is clinical documentation job and all. So it is a process of recording and maintaining patients' medical records. Okay, so where this will be recorded, it is known as in EHR, that is electronic health records. It contains, like for example, if a patient is coming, for what complaint they are coming, and the diagnosis, treatment plan, everything will be there in that EHR. So these informations about the patient is known as PHI, that is protected health information or personal health information. So these informations about the patient should be protected. So with the help of a regulation, that is HIPAA regulation, without the patient's consent, these information should not be used for any other purposes. So any jobs under clinical documentation falls under the HIPAA regulation only. So these regulations should not be violated. Okay. So now coming to the important part of this video, what are the various roles in clinical documentation? The first is quality documentation specialist or clinical documentation specialist, or in easy terms medical scribe. Okay, so what do they do? So in US, what happens is when a patient comes and visits a physician, that whole conversation will be recorded. So with the patient consent, so when it will be recorded and sent to us, that is a medical scribe. So what they do is they extract the medical insights from that conversation, that is what the patient is complaining about. So what is the diagnosis made, what is the treatment plan, everything will be extracted from the audio and documented into EHR, electronic health records. Okay, so this is a job of a medical scribe. There is also another thing in this, that is virtual medical scribe, where the conversation won't be recorded. You will be in a live call with the physician and you will be documenting that conversation on spot. So this is known as clinical documentation specialist. Next is the medical coder. So once a job is done by a medical scribe, the next job is comes to the medical coder. So what happens in US, actually, many of their treatment plans and everything are covered by the insurance. Okay, so this medical coder, what he will do is he will review the EHR and take these diagnosis, treatment plans, and convert them into ICD-10 codes. Okay, International Classification of Diseases. So they have there are specific codes for each diagnosis and each treatment plan. So they will convert them into universally acceptable codes. So that will be used for the billing and for the documentation purposes. So next comes the clinical data analyst. So what they do is they will not only from EHR, from many other healthcare sources, they will be taking and preparing clinical data, like they will analyze them. Okay, so they will analyze them and it can be used for further research purposes and like that. Okay, so they must also be well versed in the medical terminology terms, and they will be like analyzing these electronic health records and they will interpret the data, and it is used for supporting healthcare decision making. Skills required for these jobs includes documentation accuracy. So all these are associated with insurance billing purposes. No? So the documentation must be captured very accurately, and regulatory compliance is needed, HIPAA compliance, and then analytical skills. So knowledge of medical terminology will help you, perform all these jobs easily, and communication skills. Then education and certifications, any life science degree or paramedical course is generally preferred, and because medical terminology knowledge should be mandatory. You must learn before attending any interviews. You can learn all those medical terminologies and all. And certifications for coding and all is like preferable. It can be there or cannot be there, because most of the companies would offer training as well for if you are a fresher. So all these educations and certifications, consider taking it. Some of the companies that offer, medical scribing, coding, all these jobs include Scribe EMR, Cognizant, IDS Infotech, Equity, Indivirus Healthcare, and ScribeTech. Many companies offer even work from home options for these jobs. So you can apply through their company website, or now create LinkedIn and everything. You can see for vacancies there. And for a fresher, the pay scale usually starts from 2.2 to 3.3 LPA, depending on the organization and your qualifications and all. Coming topics and videos, we'll be discussing the interview questions for these roles, and how we can prepare before the interview and all. I will be discussing it in the upcoming videos, and we will just like in other job areas also, we will have videos and discuss on them. Thank you. Follow Study Medicine with me for more upcoming videos.